YouTube, welcome back to the channel, Stony FPS. And today we're taking a look at xDefiant. xDefiant is the newest game to be released that has been labeled by the fans and community as the next CoD killer. But let's dive somewhat deep into the game and give you my thoughts and feelings on if that's actually true. On surface level, the game does look to harken back to older Call of Duties or even some of the more recent but still older Call of Duties like Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 is probably the best comparison I have for this game, as there's abilities, snappy gunplay movement, and a TTK that is somewhat inconsistent, but not as fast as traditional CODs. Like Black Ops 4 had a slightly higher TTK, so it kind of feels like that game the most. Now, graphically, it's nowhere near compared to the Call of Duty franchise at its current state, but that's not really the point of this game. So let's dive into the aspects that are important and the ones that I had fun with and I had problems with. Hit that like and subscribe button and comment down below if you've played the game or watched the game. Tell me your thoughts as well. Anyways, let's talk about the gunplay first, guys. Now, the gunplay. I got a lot of bullet points, a few bullet points to run through quickly about this. There's nothing too crazy to talk about, but it's got quick and snappy movement, something that you're expecting from modern arcade shooters, right? Slide canceling is there, although somewhat clunky. The sliding and transitional movement has a weird Robloxy kind of awkward feel for some reason. Strafing is decent, also could be faster though. Hopefully attachments and patches will kind of dial in this movement. In terms of gunplay with damage and TTK, the damage per mag is seemingly pretty low. You're gonna average about 2 kills per mag, sometimes 1 kill per mag. And the way the map has choke points and lanes, you're gonna be caught reloading. A lot of your deaths, more than half your deaths, are going to be when you're reloading. And I don't feel like that's as much of a problem in COD, where you can even, you know, attach an extended mag and get up to 5, 6, 7 kills per mag if you're tight with it. And then the reloading is pretty fast compared to this game. So Call of Duty has some aspects for gunplay that, you know, kind of trump this game. I think they need to dial in the reloads, perhaps the patch or different attachments. I didn't get to try out the attachments. We'll go over that in a sec. But if they dial in the reload speed and some of the animations, the gunplay is going to be a lot better. The TTK, as well as the damage per mag, is kind of inconsistent, like I said, but it's not as fast as traditional COD unless you land headshots. If you land headshots, you feel like you're cheating, but the recoil and the way the guns work, sometimes it's hard to be consistent with headshots. There actually is recoil on the guns. On the M4 preset class, you can feel that thing bouncing in like a circle progression as it goes vertical. Kind of goes out of control sometimes, which is nice, but also feels like a bit of RNG in the mix. I didn't really test the recoil spreads on the wall like Jay got or anything, but from what I could tell, I was having a bit of a trouble being consistent with the recoil control. Also, let me add this into gunplay. The last thing I want to talk about on gunplay, people want to know, is the sniping good? Yes, it is good. I wasn't able to unlock the second sniper, which apparently, or the third sniper, I think, which is apparently the better or best one. The first sniper loadout that they give you on the preset custom loadout, it's fast, but the zoom level is like a 12x or something. You can see a guy's toe from across the map. It's really a bit tough to quick scope with. You kind of got to hold angles with it from across the map, but it is a one-shot kill. Upper chest or upper torso. I think maybe upper torso is the one shot. I don't think you had to get headshots. I didn't do too much sniping though, because the sniper loadout they give you was kind of... Anyways, moving forward. Now, let's talk about the weapons and loadouts. There's a traditional loadout system, just like the newer CODs, with a lot of attachment slots and a lot of attachments in each slot as well that affect different aspects of the weapon and gunplay for that build. Now, the problem is that I couldn't progress some of the weapons. You know, I'd leveled it up to level 5 in-game, and it would say I unlocked attachments, and you go back to the lobby, and it's back to level 1 with no attachments unlocked. And on top of that, when you're trying to customize your gun in the lobby, you'll try to do it before you start the game, and then the loadout won't save. So that's bugged. You get into the game, you got to redo the loadout, and then you go back to the lobby after that game, and the loadout is erased again. So pretty much every time you log or load into a match, you have to customize your gun again every time. At least for me, that's how it works. The one thing I will say with weapons and loadouts, class setups, that Call of Duty does not do very well is the really specific deep dive details when it comes to readouts on statistics and changes, negative and positive, for each attachment and the build that you're making. So what do I mean by this? Basically, there's a deep dive detail section on stats for your loadout, and it'll adjust based on the attachments combination that you have and tell you all of the specifics with numbers, you know, speeds, percentages, all that stuff. It's kind of a crazy little system, and I don't know why COD hasn't been able to perfect, because they've been the king of loadouts when it comes to multiplayer games. They don't seem to be able to get stat readouts to work very well. Now, I don't know if these stat readouts are accurate, but it looks pretty cool, and if they are accurate, that's a big W. So more of that shit. Abilities, guys. This game is based on the classic arcade shooter style 6v6, but everybody can pick a unique ability. Now, you don't have have to choose based on what other people choose. Everybody can have the same ability. There's not one per team or anything like that. The abilities that I was able to run and had fun with was the health booster, the invisibility, and the radar ping ability. Now, I know there's other abilities such as like flamethrower or a bubble shield, stuff like that. I think there's like a heal shield as well, where your teammates and you guys can kind of like bunker down and heal up faster in that radius. There's also different lethals and tacticals, but I really didn't get into those. I kind of went surface level when it comes to customizing loadouts and stuff. It ain't this review ain't really about that. It's more about the core gameplay and the flow of the game, which brings me into the maps flow. A lot of the maps are just classic 3-lane style maps, not too big, not too small. But what happens is on some of these 3-lane maps, especially the one with the airplane in the middle, on certain game modes, the choke points are so bad that if you're facing a full team that knows the choke points, you're not gonna get anything done as a solo queue, or even as a team queue if they just hold it down correctly. It's really bad on certain game modes. They need to fix maybe the positioning of certain points or just kind of readjust some of the maps. But for the most part, I felt like the maps were decently built, and there's 14 of them on the beta. That's crazy. That's more than CoD launched with in the actual release, which is just doesn't make any sense, right? So the maps are not bad. Best game mode for these maps is domination, because it really lets you work the whole map and kind of gives you traditional spawn systems where you can trap people, but you can get out of it. You can get out of spawn traps on domination on a lot of the maps. It's not too choky. Which the next thing I want to talk about is the servers. Guys, the servers, they gotta be the worst part about the game. Now, they did update the servers recently, I think in the last 24 hours. It felt better today than it did the previous days, but there's still some desync and lag in about half the matches. You're behind cover getting shot with curved bullets like it's the movie Wanted with Angelina Jolie halftime sometimes. So a little bit frustrating when it comes to servers. It is a free-to-play game. I guess what can you expect, right? That's the bonus. You don't have to waste money on this because it's free to play. Matches were really hard to find. Sometimes I would wait for up to 10 minutes to find a match, but I think they were able to fix that this weekend. Hopefully that issue does not plague the servers again, because it really made my chat and myself annoyed when trying to stream this, especially to TikTok. They get the attention span of a freaking housefly. Anyways, let's boil this all down to the question of, will it kill Call of Duty? There's a few reasons why I think that it won't. Number one is no game ever has. No game has ever killed Call of Duty. Games have competed with or inspired Call of Duty, but they've never killed COD, especially the traditional 6v6 shooters. The closest one I think ever to do anything in terms of denting the player base is perhaps a game like Battlefield, but even they fumbled the bag so hard year after year to convert players from COD. And to be honest, Battlefield looks 20,000 times better than this game. The graphics do not compete with modern games. This game's gonna feel outdated when it comes out, in my opinion. It's just not there in terms of fidelity and kind of physics and stuff. It just feels a little bit too 2012 arcadey, you know? Just not there. And for me, I could probably spend about 2 hours, 2.5 hours max when I'm solo, maybe 3 to 4 hours with friends on this game, which for most gamers, that's a typical session, unless you're the sweaty streamer like me and I want to play this game all day. I just simply can't do it. The repetitive gameplay loop and just the lack of quality of life on certain features and servers just kind of makes this game a little bit dry. But I'm sounding really negative here, guys. I'm just trying to be critical so they can get these issues fixed before the game actually launches. Who knows when that will be? So I apologize. There's too much negativity. I'm just being honest as well. Now, is there fun to be had in this game? Is it a fresh experience in terms of 6v6 multiplayer? Almost. It's almost there. But I'm going to give it an overall 6.9 out of 10, which I don't know if that's generous or not. I was going to go 7, but 6.9 just sounded a little more fun. That's probably the accurate rating for it right now. 6.9 out of 10. Some people are saying it's a 10. Some people are saying it's a 3. I'm at 6.9. This game fucks. Well, kind of. Sometimes it does. I don't know. Time will tell. Hopefully, Ubisoft can pay attention to the fans, pay attention to these kind of videos, if this even gets any traction on the algorithm. If you're here, like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Stony FPS reviewing quick surface level review xDefiant. If you guys want me to make more content on this game or deep dive into it even further, I can. Just drop a comment. I'll see you on the next video.